Okay, we're ready. So we're going to attempt to do Kitzur Shulchan Aruch and try and get through it over, it'll take a while, but it'll hopefully it'll get us more knowledge in halacha faster than doing Mishnah Brura. Yes, I basically base the Mefarshim that I use.
You want to just explain the difference between the Mishnah Brura, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, all these types of different things?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to base mine with the Pirush of the Piskei Teshuvos, which is a new sefer that Dave Winzelberg bought me. Thank you very much. And also the Sharm Tzionim Bahalacha. Those are two Mefarshim, excellent Mefarshim on that. So basically, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch it doesn't really go through like when we learn Mishnah Brura. So it's more of an Iyun halacha, right? It tells you all the shittas, and you don't come out so much with clarity, and we end up going much slower. When we do a Kitzur Shulchan Aruch with some Mefarshim, we should be able to get more, just A, B, and C's, how to do the halacha, and then with the Mefarshim on it, we'll also get some of the contemporary issues that come up that were not necessarily mentioned in the Kitzur. That's the basic goal. Yeah. All right. There's a couple of Kitzur. There's Sharm Tzionim Bahalacha over there. Anybody wants?
That's probably Chelek Sheni.
Okay, so let's start. Dini Ashkamas Habayker. Now everybody started Kitzur Shulchan Aruch about 100 times in their lives. I'm assuming. I don't know about 100, but many, many times. So. And a lot of the Musar that's in the first part of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, we all know about it. So we'll go through it pretty fast, and then when we get to more contemporary issues, then we'll discuss it. So Shavisi Hashem L'Negdi Summit, right? You have to put Hashem opposite you constantly. Who klal goda b'Torah u'v'malas hatzadikim asher hochem l'fnei Elokim. That is the rule for the Torah, and that's what tzadikim that go in front of Hashem. Wherever they go, they have Hashem in front of them. A person, when he sits in his house and what he's busy with when he's home alone is obviously your behavior when you're at home is a whole lot worse than when your behavior is when you're in front of the king.
But realistically speaking, over here, if someone goes like this, he'd be in a mental institution.
Okay, so you have to know how to balance it. It's a good point, right? Meaning, if you keep like this pressure on you the whole day, then you might have to be locked up, right? But the point is it should be as a love to Hashem. It shouldn't be a fear. You should want to behave yourself because you want to behave yourself, not you want to be on your best behavior, right? You're not sad if the president comes to your house. Whichever president you go with, okay? A president that you respect, okay, comes to your house. You're not sad that he's there. You're very happy.
But it comes every day.
You might be a little pressure, which is not such a bad thing, but it's not doesn't have to come from a fear, a pressure like that. It should come from a love, and then you'll be much better off. I mean, I was thinking that a lot of times the way we behave in our house is different than even the way we behave with our friends, right? A lot of people at home don't behave themselves. Even forget about jumping to a king. How about jumping to the way you behave with other people, right? Okay. The way you speak when you're with the people from your house, is when you speak the same way you speak when you're by a king. Because then you have to watch over everything that you do, that everything should be musukanim karai, proper. Right? You see that with the politicians too. When there's a hot mic, you find out what these guys really are saying to each other. But when they speak in public, there's no nivel peh, and everything is civil and everything is nice. So that's the way we always have to talk. That's of course when it's in front of Hashem, not even a human king. He's seeing everything that we do. Okay, I'm going a little quick. But because we all learned this many times, but not that it's a bad thing to repeat it. But the point of the pasuk in Yirmiyah is saying is that if you constantly think of Hashem, then you're going to have the proper Yira and Achno. Now the Mefarshim here bring on Shivisi Hashem Lenegdi Summit. So the Piskei Teshuvos brings it, and the Sharm Tzionah Balacha also brings it, that there are the 6 constant mitzvahs that everybody is supposed to have, right? Some guys have that card. There's you have. I don't know if I can name all 6. Can I name all 6? Which is very bad. It's very bad. What?
Amalek and Miriam.
No. It's the Sheish mitzvahs tmidius. The first one is to believe in Hashem. Second one is don't believe in anything other than Hashem. Right? Very good. I'm very impressed. Correct. Wow.
That's what that was.
We got a winner here that knows all 6.
My son had a test on it 2 weeks ago in 6th grade.
What?
My son had a test on it. He had to memorize them in 6th grade.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
did you help him out?
He said them out of order.
But I still don't remember them.
Yeah. Okay. So again, there's 6. You have to believe in Hashem. That you shouldn't believe in anything other than Hashem. Which what the difference is between that?
Believe in
I'm
two.
not so sure. Right.
Some believe in two.
Achdus Hashem, which is that you love him. Well, Avas Hashem, Yiras Hashem. So those are 3. What's Achdus Hashem?
Echad.
That Hashem is one, but you already have that. Lahamim
Yeah.
Hashem Shaloi Lahamim Bezulasai.
So what's
No, that's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like Yachid, he said.
So what
That
is it?
Hashem is a oneness. He's one. There's no steerers. There's no contradiction. It's all uniform. It's
You mean
one.
it's not
He's whatever it means. He's one unit. Whatever that means.
meaning, but it's not that he's the one. That's already believed. That's already the first one. That's what you're saying. Yeah, very good. Okay, that's very good. And Yiras Hashem. Okay, that we understand. Tefir Hashem, and then let's surah right? Now, so that's the sheish mitzvahs that you can get a mitzvah every second with doing that. Yeah. Then the Orchos Tzadikim brings it here in the footnote here, but the Orchos Tzadikim says there's another mitzvah you can be Mekayim all the time, and that's the mitzvah of Simcha, that you're happy to be a Yid. The Orchos Tzadikim brings it. He doesn't say any specific one, but he says if you're happy that you're a Yid, you're also Mekayim a mitzvah every second.
One second. These 6 mitzvahs that you just said, there's not the same 6. It's not the same 6 that's in Archgold Siddur.
The 6 what?
Oh, you have a
It
kasha
says in
from
Archgold.
Scroll Siddur, and it's a
Yeah.
bomb.
No, stop. Those are not
No,
6
no,
mitzvahs.
stop.
Those are not the
They
6
just-
mitzvahs.
1 second.
What's
I
that?
happen
You're
to say
talking
it
about the
every
sheish-
day. That's a
You're talking about
It's
this.
the- yeah. That's not the same thing.
This. No.
I thought it was always the same thing.
Zechiras is not mitzvahs.
Oh, these are the things that you can get a mitzvah. This is not a chiyuv, right? It's just if you want a mitzvah every second, then you can think about these every second. You get a mitzvah every second, whatever that means exactly.
And the Sheish Zechuyos, he's supposed to remember all the time also, right?
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, I don't know if it has to be every time. I don't know if that'll be as every second.
I always thought it was the 6 mitzvahs to remember every second was this. Okay. Fine.
All right, whatever it is.
Unless you can
Yeah.
multitask.
Fine. Okay, so that's Sif Aleph. Sif Beis. V'gam b'shachvay al mishkavay. Even when you're going to sleep, yeda lefnei mihu shaychiv. You should know who you're sleeping. Who meaning Hashem is in the room when you're sleeping. Go miyad kishiyerim mishnasay. Right. This is every guy's favorite thing. Yizkor chastei Hashem yizbar Hashem asher asa imay. You should remember all the chesed. Shehichzer lo yas nishmasay. Asher avtida etzlei hayefa, that he gave you back your neshama when it was weak. V'chzira lechadosh rugu, and then you rested up, and now you have more koyach. Kidei lavar avedasei yisparach shmoi b'chol yichaltoi u'l'shasei kol hayom kizeh kol adam. In order to do the avodah and to serve him all day. K'mo shomer hakasav chadashim lebekonim rabim u'nesecha. Meaning it is new in the morning, and great is your emunah. Meaning pirush b'chol b'oker nasa adam bria chadasha. Every day you're a new creation. V'yoyde b'chol levav Hashem yisparach shmoi alzos. And you should thank Hashem. When you're in your bed, you say, right? Now, I think we discussed this once before, but the proper way to say it is not the way many of the schools teach it. Right? They say, right? I thank you in front of you. Melech Chai v'Kayom Shechazarta Bi Nishmasi B'Chemla. Right? The way it should be said is B'Chemla. Shenasata Bi Nishmasi B'Chemla. You gave us back our neshama with how do you say chemla, with mercy. Rabba emunasecha. Right? But the way they say it is chemla rabba emunasecha.
Right. It's like
Right? It's not chemla rabba.
in my edition here, they have a comma after the word chemla.
Right, it's misplaced.
In your what? In your
I have the English, Hebrew English here.
in the Kitzur,
It has a comma after the word chemla.
Right. So that's the way. The proper way to do it is shenasata. How do you say?
Shechazarta.
Shechazarta bi nishmasi b'chemla. Right? Rabba emunasech. It's kedai to tell this to kids, because if you listen to them and listen to adults, they don't say it correctly. I once saw that there was a pshat how to fit it in, but that's not really the proper. Right? Chemla rabba emunasech. That's wrong.
I also thought
That's why you came tonight. That's why you came tonight.
What?
That's why he came
What'd you say?
tonight. That's why he came tonight.
Right. But you know what else they make the mistake? When they bench. When schools bench, how do they say at the end of benching? They say, at the end it says,
It's not a comma, it's just
the chemla. They're telling you very much that the art school has a line there after the chemla, right? And the kids sit there, they mamish have a big fat line. It's pretty funny. Here, let me see.
No, they have it in the interlinear also.
See that?
Yeah,
See
they have
that
it in
line right
interlinear.
there? See that? That's how strong they want to let you
They
know.
want to
that.
connect it. No, it's connected. They're saying it's connected.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they are connecting it. Could be. But how does it go at the end? Zarivakesh lochem.
Hashem was Lama Yitzhak, Hashem was Lama Shalom.
Okay, whatever. It's not so important now. Okay, so now what happens if you forget to say Moida Ani when you're in your bed and you remember when you're in the bathroom? Can you say it in the bathroom or not?
It doesn't have a Baruch name in it.
Did you do Nigel Wasser or not?
Well, say I didn't finish the show. I didn't finish the Kitzur yet. Vaf al pi shadayin ein yodel nekiyas. Even if your hands are not clean, yochel loimer zayis, you're allowed to say it. Kivan she'ein by shem, since it doesn't have Hashem's name in Maidani, so you don't need to wash Nigel Wasser first. That's why when you open your eyes, once you become cognizant, which could take quite a while, but whatever it is, once you become you're aware that there's something going on.
When you're going into the bathroom, there's nothing in the open. It's a mokum.
Okay, so one second. So first thing is that you say Madan even if your hands are dirty, right? The afsik ma'at ben tevas v'chemla tevas rabba, and jump the gun, right? You have to stop a little bit between the chemla and rabba. Fine. Now, what about in the bathroom? So you forgot to say Madani in your bed. Can you say it when you're in the bathroom?
Yarmulke.
What?
You need a yarmulke?
Do you need a yarmulke? That's a good question. Do you need a yarmulke when you say
You're not putting on your I'm saying you're not putting on your yarmulke on your way to the bath before you get to the bathroom?
You should not. No, but he's asking, should you put on your yarmulke before you say Madani or put
Yes.
Yes.
Why l'chayr? Yes. There's no Hashem's name.
Why are you taking yarmulke off to go to sleep?
Should you wait?
He doesn't have a shluf kapel? What do you mean?
We're starting with the morning. We'll get to the night, Bez Hashem. I don't know when.
He doesn't have a
Start your
shluf
morning with Yom Khan.
What?
Your morning start when Yom Khan's on already.
You can ask a different kasha.
The white one. The one that doesn't fall off.
What do you mean? The morning doesn't start till your yarmulke is
Your
on?
yarmulke is on.
A white one?
You wake up the Yom Khan.
What happens if you sleep without your
Because it
yarmulke?
doesn't fall
Or
off.
you lose a yarmulke. Let's say you
Or
slept.
it falls off. Even if it's shluf kapel, it falls off or whatever it is.
You have to, bottom line is you're not allowed to say a bracha without a yarmulke on, right?
It's not a bracha. It's not a bracha.
It's not a bracha. So that's I hear. But lemaisa, it's to thank Hashem without having. We look at a head covering as something that gives us yiras shamayim, right?
But if that's the case, why doesn't it say when you wake up in the morning, put on your yarmulke and then say Modani?
Also, because maybe they're assuming, like everybody here is assuming, that you're wearing a yarmulke to sleep.
But this is teaching us what we're, so I'm saying we're starting from the
I
end
don't know.
now?
Is it a raya? Is it a raya?
No, I'm
from
saying,
here?
are we starting from the end? That
It's
you have
not,
to put on a yarmulke when you go to sleep?
that's not a deal. Come on.
You're not a dick.
No.
Okay, all right.
No, so one of my, somebody told me a few years ago in the Daf Yomi, said he read in one of the scientific journals or something, with in the science, whatever, that they say it's 6 seconds or 8 seconds or some kind of amount of seconds. It's better to, after you wake up, to stay in your bed and then get out of bed. And it was at the same time as it takes to say Maidani.
Taka?
Yeah. 2, 3
Interesting.
years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But not okay. That's obviously not the Maidani from the Rebbes or anything like that. But you mean the regular.
I never woke up next to a Rebbe. I have no idea.
Right, but the standard Maidani, you're saying the standard Maidani time. Okay, interesting. But anyway, so I don't know, Taka. I don't know. Should you wear a yarmulke? I mean, that's a good
Why
question.
not? You have Yer Shemaim. You're saying words Takadosh Baruch Hu. So
You're not saying. You're thanking.
Let me say what you should do.
You're thanking Hashem.
Moedani
You
lefonecha.
say Modani before you watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, sure.
Yes, Maidani should be said instantly when
In your
wake up.
bed, before in your
In your
bed,
bed.
before you do anything. Right after you turn off your alarms.
Right. Yeah. Or after you snooze it a couple of times, whichever.
When
Right.
you're ready to turn off your alarm.
You're not asking what you should.
I'm never
you're
coming
asking
to
what you
show
could.
So now, okay. So the question is, okay, I'm not sure about the yarmulke. I would think that you should put it on first. Do I put it on? I don't think I
How
do.
does
I?
yours fall off?
How does this fall off? It falls off, believe it or not.
Tell us next Monday night what you do. Now you pay attention.
I'll tweet it out. I'll send out the halacha text.
You didn't get that.
What do you say?
Times get the white one with the chin strap.
Then they'll think I'm wearing a mask. So, you know?
You put Velcro inside the yarmulke.
Um,
But after
yeah.
you roll,
Sometimes.
you glue it.
One of the guys in the beginner's share, given Sheyash, came. He lost his yarmulke, so he took one of the masks to give it by the door, and he put it around his chin and over his head, and he was walking around with a mask for a yarmulke. That was his sorry. Anyways, so here he says in the bottom here in the Piskei Teshuvos, he brings, right? He says if your hands have tsoya mamish on it, if you mamish have real dirt on it, then you're not allowed to. Right? Then, because then you're not even allowed to think and learning. So if you're not allowed to think and learning, you're certainly not allowed to
Verbalize.
You're not allowed to verbalize anything. But anything less than that, then you're allowed to do. As with going into the bathroom, I don't know. I thought I saw it here, but he doesn't bring it. Right? That you could say it in the bathroom, as long as the bathroom doesn't smell, or it's just a regular standard bed, and if you get the same Adani in your bed, then yes,
Is that because
you could say it in the bathroom.
It's metunaf.
No, when
It's
it
a
means
muffin
yodam
metunaf.
mitunafis, with the way we're understanding yodam mitunafis, means your hands are just not. There's no actual
tummy.
dirt on your hands.
It's tummy.
No. You touched your head, you scratched your head, you touch parts of the body
Same
that are
thing in the
normally
bathroom.
covered.
There's no real.
Yeah. Okay. That's base. Gimel. Yehudim and Tamar. I'm just going a little fast because this is all the stuff that we've heard many times.
That we still don't know.
I know we don't know. We know we don't necessarily keep. That's all.
Oh, well, we don't remember, right? Okay, fine, right there.
Right. Havi az kanomer v'kal kanesher rotz katzvi v'gibor kari. Right. Anybody who has sukkah decorations probably has one of these up in their sukkah. Right. Lasois ritzayin avita shevashamayim. Now, what is az kanomer? How do you say az kanomer? Strong like a leopard. Yeah. I don't know why they chose leopard. Peter shalei is bayish mipnei bnei adam ha'aligalim avodas Hashem yisparshma. Person shouldn't be embarrassed when people making fun of him that he's so frugal.
Askanam and Gibor Kari. Gibor is strength.
Who says?
Az is not strength.
Az is Stoltz.
Right, very good. Stoltz, a good translation.
We're gonna
Stoltz.
get up to Gibor Karias in a minute there. Wait.
No, but
hold
he's
on.
asking what the difference is. Meaning, az kanama means you're proud or something, meaning you shouldn't be embarrassed. You shouldn't be embarrassed from being a yid. Brazen, I guess, but brazen sounds like
It's like shikul ha'aza.
Yeah. Okay.
Rabbi-
Kal kanef.
Real Trumpy.
Rabbi Davis translated as bold.
Oh,
A little
bold. That's
Trumpy.
bold. That's pretty good. Bold.
That's a bold
Yeah.
translation.
Meaning you're bold. You don't have to worry about. You don't worry about people say. Kal kanesher, light like what do you call it? Eagle. Keneged rosa ayin. Loimer should take kal latzam enecha meirois bara. You should be quick with your eyes to close your eyes from looking at bad things. Ki hu aschalas aveira. Without your eyes, you're not going to start doing averas. Ayin roya, because what the eye sees, valev chaymed, and the heart desires of kli masa gairim, and then your utensils finish it off, meaning the rest of your body. right? Rotz katzvi, run like a deer. Keneged haraglayim, that's a reference to the feet. Shiraglecha l'toiv yarut, so that your feet should run to good things. V'gibor kari, you should be strong like a lion. Keneged alev, that's talking about the heart. Ki hagvura b'avodas sabari yisbarach hi b'lev. Right, the strength in order to do Hashem's work is in the heart. You should have strength in your heart with your avodah and to overcome the Yetzirah. It's like a strong person who overcomes and overpowers his enemies. Right? Okay, so those are the basic four. That's the Mishnah in Avos. Right, but the way he's learning Pshat is that each one is referring to parts of the body, really. Fine, that's the Dalit.
Can you also say that these four things is like the best thing is as kanomer, because if you don't care what anybody thinks, you're not gonna follow the crowd.
I don't know if one is one is better than the other,
right? Because it says I got the Kal Kanesha is Keneged Usayim. It said the eye sees, and then the Lev Choymed.
Right.
The next thing, the last one is Aruch, Keneged Alev. Once your eye sees it, now your Lev is Choymed, you have to combat that.
Okay, I hear that, Pshat. Very good. Okay, so Dalit, Tzarach Adam L'Sgaber Kari, a person needs to be strong like a lion. Umiyad Kashier Mishnasoi, right when you get up, immediately when you get up from your sleep, V'amar Maidani, Yakum Bezrizus, Lavayda Sabari Yisparach V'Yasali, you should get up quickly. Before the Yetzirah gets to you to tell you why not to get up. And he's smart, he convinces you in the winter. How can you get up so early in the morning and it's cold? How can you get out of your bed? You don't have enough sleep yet. Yetzirah knows very well how to stop people from getting up. Anybody who has pachad from Hashem, he needs to overpower and not listen to the Yetzirah. And even if it's very difficult for you because your body is heavy and you're lazy, you should put in front of you that you have Hashem in front of you, and that's who you're going to serve. Right? If somebody would call you to a business that you're going to make a lot of money, or that somebody owed you money and you're going to get up early to get the money, or they're going to call you that you're going to say, you better get out of bed because you're going to lose your money. You're going to like there's a fire. You're going to jump right out of bed to make your money. So the same thing was the same for culture came for Hashem. If you had to go work for the king, you're not going to be lazy because the king's going to get upset. Yeah.
But one of the fellas already said, but what he's saying is not nobody has that happen to them every day. He's saying to get up like this. No, who has this happen to them every day? Any of his Mishalom?
What do you mean? You mean it can't be on a steady every day?
Yeah, you
can have this. You can have it.
You can have a business. Who has that every day? Nobody.
Right. I hear.
Well,
but let's say, I guess,
in this situation. We do in this situation.
Theoretically, if you had it every day, then you would get up every day, or you think you would burn out from it.
Yeah, that's what the fellow said right away when you started.
Yeah. Although I have to tell you, when I have to get my family members out of bed, even if I'm offering them a trip or whatever, it don't go.
It's talking about the person. It's not talking about family members.
Does not work on today's. I'm telling you, this taina does not work on today's generation so well. Today's generation be like, I'm not saying the whole generation, but there's quite a lot that I'm not getting out of bed. I'll get there. I'll be late for the ball game. Be this, whatever.
Most will be upset at me. Big deal. Get a new job.
No, about that. But anyways, so Alachas kam v'kam l'avodas melech malchi amlochem hakadosh baruch hu sheyesh lizar lachem mehirus ubezrizus. Now the next line, I don't know how we answer this next line. Arba Chamish Pa'amim. If you make yourself do this 4 or 5 times, then that means tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Do what?
Right?
Wake up on time?
Yes, 4 or 5
Wake up
times.
early,
You
wake
jump
up on
out of
time?
bed. You jump out of bed. It's not going to be difficult for you after that. And somebody who comes to try and purify himself, Hashem helps him.
We say Kol Hascholos.
I'll tell you.
Over, it's not as difficult anymore.
Okay, but the bottom line is, I know people that have gotten up for Shachris 4 or 5 days in a row and then fell back.
Good, because something got to them, not because if the same occurrences happened every day and you didn't have Nechsholos and you didn't do anything wrong, right?
What time is
we
early?
do Averis.
What is the right time?
Whatever time you choose to get up. Yeah, go ahead.
I wake up fast every day.
When this my gay, when with my gay for that we're in the middle of, so I stopped.
Right.
So I stopped going to Shmuel Shia for a long time. I didn't go to Shmuel Shia. I was getting up whenever I got up, 6, 7, 8. When I just saw I was makla to go back to his Shia, it's like 4 weeks ago, whatever it is. I set an alarm now on the smartphone, but I don't need it anymore. I needed it the first week, but I don't need it. But I still do it, but I don't need it because all the years I got up like that. But now I don't need it.
So you're saying you're approved. You're saying approved.
Yeah.
I'm a proof of it also. Come on. I wake up before my alarm every single morning. You know what time my alarm goes off?
But I'm telling you, I stopped for. That's why I was saying. Yeah.
4:35 in the morning.
Kind of hurry, you do it. Yeah.
No, and it goes off before it goes.
So let me ask you a question. So let's say we take the two of you around tomorrow to the dormitories.
Yeah, I think I'm approved the other way.
What?
I think I'm approved the other way. You got me an alarm that had to put a puzzle back together. And that's still that's still doing.
Yes. By the way, there are apps. But in case the Olam has a hard time getting out of bed, there are apps where you have to do a math problem in order for the alarm to go off.
You have to say Modani first, and you do the math problem.
I don't know.
I let it ring.
I don't know.
And do you put on your yarmulke before you do the math problem?
This is part of the getting up still, so it's before Modani. But you can ask it for a very difficult math problem or not, and otherwise the alarm will not go off.
Will not stop. It'll go.
I'm not good at math.
Maybe that's a good
I'm
invention.
good at waking up.
I'm
not good at math.
It should be sound activated. It only turns off when you say Maidani.
Oh, maybe Taka, but many have gone and said Maidani and then go back to sleep, but that's a different thing. Yeah, anyways, okay, so the Shar Mitzion Balacha brings a fascinating machlokes here.
Can you do that, by the way? Can you say Modani, go back to sleep?
Can you?
You can do whatever you want.
No. I'm saying
Then when you wake up, you gotta
really up,
say it again.
You get up to go to the bathroom. Can you say it, Modani, and then go? You know you're going back to sleep.
No, if you're in the middle of the night, there's no point in saying.
It's not in the middle of the night. I'm saying, let's say it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You know you're gonna go for another half hour to sleep.
If it's before 11 a.m.,
why would you say it?
Because you're up. You woke up.
But you're going back to sleep.
Who cares? You woke up already from the night.
Before 11 a.m., you can do it.
He must be young. He's going back
I don't
to
know.
sleep
You say it. It's not going to hurt you to say it once, twice.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so he brings the Shar Mitzion Malacha brings like this, right? So he says immediately when you get up, right? So what's the lashon of the Kitzur? No, I'm saying, but he says that? Okay, he doesn't really discuss how much sleep you need, right?
Not yet.
So he quotes the Taz in Even Ezer of all places, in Chav Hey. The Hakol Lefi Ha'adam. Your amount of sleep you need is according to the person. Before we start with the Litzanis that we all need 12, let's just see what he has to say, right? So he says, Yesh Talmid Chacham menaded in Sheina Meineim v'Oiskin b'Torah. There are Talmidei Chachamim that they can keep the sleep away from their eyes and the Oiskin Torah. But Yesh Sheyeshenim Harbe Kedei Sheyeh Lehem Koyach Lasik b'Torah. There are those. He's saying so. There are some Talmidei Chachamim who don't need so much sleep, and then there are other Talmidei Chachamim who need more sleep. Here's the line. What he's saying, the guy that slept more, so you might look at him like he's not big a masmid, but he could accomplish more in 1 hour than the guy who slept less takes in 2 hours. So who's really gaining?
1 second.
Each one gets the
accomplishes
star.
more than sleeping.
One
One
guy.
accomplishes more sleeping 1 hour is like the other person sleeps 2 hours.
No, the other way.
And the other way around also.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
Yes. Meaning
But
there's
1
no.
second. Don't we say that the accomplishment is not Aaron, it's the Amelus, so the person who actually took 2 hours to learn, he didn't accomplish as much
That's
as
what
the
he was
one in
talking about.
1 hour. He gets more schar because
That's
he's
what he
trying
just
for
asked.
2
No,
hours.
it doesn't
But
necessarily.
you just asked
the other
that.
person. The other person who stayed in bed because he knows his learning will be on much higher level, right?
So it's not an Amelus, it's at the
It's
result.
both, but it's an amelus to sleep too.
I mean, it bothers him to sleep more, but he has to.
Yeah, I would take the amelus of the extra hour
What
sleep.
are you
but
saying?
you gotta
It bothers him to sleep more, but he has to? And
Yeah,
therefore,
yeah. Meaning he's
oh, so
saying
it
that there's
bothers him
different
that he has to
types.
sleep more.
Yes. Oh, so then he says then he quotes Eshel Avram, right? Ube Eshel Avram Kosov, that's the Pri Megadim. Kosov Nami, the Chesaron, Dafka, when is it a Chesaron to stay in bed? Dafka, Kishashoichev al Mitasa, Mipnei Tainug V'idun. That's only if you're sleeping because you want to have a geschmack, you want to go to sleep. Ve'eno itzarich lebrias haguf, and you don't need it for the brias haguf. But if you needed it for health and you felt that you were wiped out, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with sleeping. That's the way the Taz and the Pri Megadim say it. Right? And he doesn't like that the Pri Megadim is very makel with the sleep by saying that. And he says neither the Pri Megadim or the Nimukei Arachaim says anything about this about they don't quote the Taz. They don't quote this Taz, who clearly seems to say that if you feel that you need sleep, then that's what you need to do. And that you'll end up learning for a lot better. What? Right. So yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. Right. I think there's
You got a whole page ready.
Naftali, you got a quote. You got a mute, Naftali. What do you call it? There is not a Meshech Chochma, I forgot, who also says sometimes by staying in Besmerish, you could actually be over on more Bittul Torah than if you went to sleep. Meaning if you sit, I have this on a daily basis personally. I sit in Besmerish.
Shavuos night is a good example.
Shavuos night maybe, but even every day you're sitting in Besmerish, right?
You don't stay up.
And you're dozing off, but you want to keep fighting the Yetzirah. But what are you doing? Go to sleep for a half hour, and then you'll be much stronger. You'll be able to actually accomplish. Okay.
Who says that?
What?
So he is taking the
He's
Taz.
sort of saying like the Taz, yeah. Sort of saying like now you have to be honest with yourself, right? You can't decide that you need 10 hours of sleep, 12 hours of sleep, and whatever it is. But meaning. Because there are certain guys that get down because they see other guys sitting in Bismerish till late at night, and they're there early in the morning, and they get down. You don't know how much they're accomplishing, and you don't. If your body needs more sleeps, and then your body needs more sleep. Okay, hey, I don't know anybody that does this. If it's possible for you to get up at Chatzos, now we're hardly even going to sleep before Chatzos.
You want us to get a little
back?
I'm in the
Chatzos, and then we're trying to limit this amount of sleep we get, or we're
right. It's a problem. But we'll get to that. But he's saying if it's possible, get up by Chatzos. Right, get up in the middle of the night and sing. And that's Hashem makes kinnis then. He cries about the Beis Hamikdash. That's right. He roars about it. Right. Right. He says, "Woe to that my kids don't behave." That's what Hashem is saying. That I have to keep punishing them. Right. So that's what you're supposed to get up by Chatzos. But let's say you can't. You should at least get up before Alois Shachar. Okay, so at least a couple of people here are doing that.
Guys who still up at 12 o'clock. It was already sleeping at 12 o'clock.
Right.
What about guys who go to sleep after 2? I don't go to sleep before 2.
We'll discuss it in a minute.
There's a good word from the Amshinov. He never takes on the cause. He never takes, even in his own family, he doesn't take. He takes, brachas, whenever. He doesn't take on the cause. So somebody said to him, Rebbe, why don't you do it? It says that the baby takes you after the sandik. He'll get the miles of the sandik. He says, you're 100% true. He says, I don't want the baby to wake up 2 a.m. and start crying like I do.
Very good. Very good. Right. So, yes, but that's what you're supposed to do. Lamaisa, that's what Shade and Halacha, that you're supposed to do that. Right? So at least he's saying, so at least Gaber al Kapanim Lokum Kaidam Alois Shachar. At least get up before Alois Shachar. Who's in? Landa, you got to mute. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. Kamay Shomer David HaMelech Olav HaShalom A'ira Shachar. Right? I wake up the morning. Ve'ena Shachar Ma'ir I see. The morning doesn't wake me up. I wake up the morning. Right? Gam La'achar Chatzais Alayla Yachal Lasas Tikkun Chatzais. You can say Tikkun Chatzais even after Chatzais. Right, then Achar Kach Yasik B'Torah Ish Gefiya Chaltei. Everybody should learn Torah after Chatzos the way they're able to. But Shir Mishnayis Kaidim L'Chol Davar, which is very interesting. Shir Mishnayis comes before anything.
It's interesting that you mentioned this right after you talk about getting sleep.
Correct.
How do you do this and get sleep?
No, so you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep when it gets dark. Like now in the winter, you'd be going.
So I'm saying you're going to sleep at 7 o'clock at night.
Yes,
they didn't have lights outside.
Yeah, without electricity, it helps, right? Well, we'll see. These going in the Piskei Teshuvos is going to discuss it. V'shir Mishnayis comes before everything. V'yidei zeh zoichel in neshama. You're zoichel to a neshama. Mishnah oisius neshama, which is why Avelim are supposed to learn Mishnayis. V'meina bar hachi, and if you're not, you can't learn Mishnayis. Yasek b'tehillim. U'mamada is v'sifrei musar. Then learn Tehillim. And learn Musar v'toiv ma'at b'kavana me'harmas v'loi kavana. Right? That's another line that's very important. Better to do a little bit with kavana than a lot without kavana. Right?
Quality, not quantity.
Tana dveichia kala isip b'Torah b'layla shchina kenegdai. Whoever learns Torah at night, the shchina is opposite him. Shenemar kumi roina b'layla l'roish hashmuros shivchi kamayim liveich noicha pnei Hashem pirush shashchina hi oz kenegdecha. The shchina is opposite you when you learn at night. He's called an Eved Hashem. Right? An Eved Hashem is somebody who stands in front of Hashem at night. And in the short nights, meaning in the summer, you can't get up so early. Meaning, I think that's what you're saying, right, David? That you're going to sleep very late because it's the light. Shki is at 9 o'clock, and then you want to get up at Chatzos. It's only 4 hours, right? You should get up earlier than the davening to prepare yourself to daven with the tzibur. Meaning, point is, he's saying, and the Mishnah Berurah brings this also, that you're really halacha not supposed to roll right out of bed to shachris. You're supposed to get up. I don't know if this means if this is a makar to drink coffee before shachris. I don't know. Whatever, to sit in the coffee room before you daven. But you're supposed to get up earlier. For shachris, right? Now he brings here.
It's interesting because from here it sounds like other nights, in the winter nights, he doesn't have to wake up early to go to Smash Daven Sibber.
No, he said. No, why? That's
look. He actually man. So basically, he has to wake up early enough to make it to the minyan.
No, you should
to prepare himself to go and prepare for the minyan.
Right.
It means in the winter he doesn't have to.
No, then you're up from chatzos.
Oh, you're not going back to sleep.
No, you're not going back to sleep. No way. No. The man, he thought he was going to say chatzos to go back to sleep. No, you're supposed to get up and learn the rest.
No, chatzos, and then you start learning Mishnayos and the whole Tanakh there.
Yeah.
You finish Shas every night.
No, that's yes. This ain't for the faint of heart. This schedule. So anyways, so he brings here from I don't know who he brings it from.
Wow.
That because of the length of the gullus and because of the tircha that we have bisman hazeh, so that's the dan l'kav schus that people should not that we don't do tikkun chatzos. But he says it seems like it's a Shulchan Aruch Harav.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Because the Golus has been so long, right? It just wore everybody down. It's worn people down, right? And also people are, it's very hard. We're just busy. And it's very hard to do the whole Tikkun Chatzos. He says you should do at least every once in a while. He says once or twice a week. He says once or twice a week at least do Tikkun Chatzos.
Once or twice a life.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, I haven't hit that once yet, right? But I'm not saying that with pride. But then he says, even if you say one chelik of the Tikkun, even one pasuk, right? And even if you just think about the Churban, is already a good thing. So that's not so difficult if you're up by Chatzos.
So does that mean what does that mean? You don't need to have to go to sleep first. Well, you come home from a chasna.
No.
You come home from a chasna at 12:30 at night.
Correct. That's what I was thinking. Oh yes, I was thinking today when I was looking at this. That l'char, if you happen to be up by Chatzos,
you just finished watching the football game.
Which in the right? Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, okay. Then you got to do tshuva and the churban, right? But if you're up by Chatzos, then you should say something. That's what he's saying, right? But then he also brings from the Pri Megadim. He says nowadays it seems like the chashuvim do the opposite, right? They stay up late learning, right? The big Talmidei Chachamim, they're up very late, so they're really flipping this. Instead of going to sleep by Shkia and getting up by Chatzos and learning, so what are we doing? I'm saying, what are the people from today's generation who most are not getting up early, like you guys, to learn early. Most are staying up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they go to sleep, right? I don't know if they say Tikkun Chatzos, right?
They're going to start.
Why? They say stories of people, the big tzaddikim, they slept for a few hours, even now, no?
Yeah, that's true, but what they do with those few hours they sleep are usually after Chatzos.
Right, they wake up like 2 a.m.
No,
I
I think they go to sleep. I think many go to sleep at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, is that yeah?
Some go to sleep. Well, some like Rebbe Yashiv and Reb Chaim. I don't know. How old was Reb Chaim? He sleeps 2-3 hours maybe. So he's going to sleep after Chatzos and waking up at 3 a.m. Right? Okay, but those are Yechidim. I mean, they're Yechidim B'Dorim, right?
And you'll find out that he's
yeah.
No, for sure was to sleep.
Yeah, so he brings that the Gedolei Adarim seem to have switched. Nowadays, he brings from the Siddur Yavitz that they switched it. He says the main thing is to be up at Chatzos. That's what he does say. So I don't know what that means. Meaning either either you should be up for Chatzos for the day, or you should go to sleep after Chatzos. Right? I listen, in yeshivas, I don't think anybody goes to sleep before Chatzos. Yeah.
but they don't wake up
I don't know if they're
Chatzos
saying
either.
Tikkun Chatzos either. Yeah.
Do they wake up before Chatzos?
I don't know. But then he brings also from the Magen Avram that there's a very big Indian to say Tehillim before davening. Yeah, that which is what the Kitzur was saying, that you get up Chatzos and you say, and then but then he said if you can't learn Mishnayos, then you tell him. Sifrei Musar, right? So we know that Mishnah Berurah brings that everybody has a chiyuv to learn Musar every single day, right? Because that straightens you out. And the Mata Ephraim says, he quotes the Mata Ephraim that says, learning Musar every day comes before everything, right? Which of course they say that in Maisa, that somebody, I forgot who they say it with, that he said, if I only have 5 minutes to learn, what should I learn? To learn Musar, because then you'll see that you have more time to learn, right? So, but that's, right, so, but that's really, that's not why you're supposed to learn Musar, but that's the point. That, yeah, and the Chai Adam says the amount of time you're supposed to get up before Shachris is a half hour before Shachris. Fine. It's already 8:57. Okay, I just want to finish. If I'll start the daf, I guess 2 minutes later, a few minutes later. Mizmari Tehillim Vav. Mizmari Tehillim v'chein shah parashis return to be maksum she'enam shigurim b'fi hakol. Also lamrim. You know what? We'll stop. We'll do this. We'll do this next week. B'ezras Hashem. Okay. Fine. All right. I'll see everybody soon in a few minutes.
He said the reason why you should get up a half hour early.